Just start from the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah? Just tell us. Is it going?
Yep.
Okay, stick to the story here, and we're here at the Scotiabank Center in downtown Niagara Falls, and we're here today with Little Ray's Reptile Zoo, but it's not really a reptile zoo anymore. It's also a nature center.
Right.
So we're here with the star of the show, the two-toed sloth, and Josh it is.
Yep.
Yeah, Josh. He's going to be telling us all about it. So yeah, let us fill us in on this lovely little guy.
So this is a Linnaeus two-toed sloth.
Right.
He's about 8 months old, so not quite strong enough to be holding himself on those branches yet. He's practicing a little bit, climbing here and there, but for now we have these soft blankets for him to hold on to.
So it's kind of like his mother, right?
Yeah, exactly. In the wild, he would be holding on to his mother's belly as she hung upside down. So that's exactly what it is simulating. Now, this guy never did live in the wild. We don't take any animals out of their natural habitats, force them into captivity. The only situation that would ever happen is with an injured animal that wouldn't be able to survive in the wild. In hopes of later re-releasing.
Where would he be native from?
Well, this guy comes from South America. We also find other species of sloths around Central America.
Right.
This guy specifically came from a retired veterinarian in Florida.
Oh, wow.
And he's part of our educational program, where sloths are becoming more and more popular as pets, especially in the United States.
Right.
And this is a big problem. They don't make good pets. He's curious, peeking around.
I wonder what's his voice behind him? Hey, buddy. Hi. So
yeah, not only do they not make great pets, they're a lot of work, very specific, temperatures, very specific enclosures, diets. You really need to know what you're doing to be able to see signs of stress. But also, the pet trade is taking a toll on their numbers in the wild.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why you have them here is to get this information out to the public about it. And that's, with Little Ray's, the Reptile Zoo, that's what you guys do. You get this information out. It's an educational program to help, especially with the smaller kids, especially with how would you say, like the movies that are out today.
Right.
People see like a movie like Zootopia, great movie, but it's also then kids think, well, I can have like an animal and stuff, and it doesn't quite work that way. And then it's and you probably even see an influx when you get stuff like movies like that happening.
Oh, for sure.
People get all these animals that probably can't really look after them, So
and especially with our reptiles,
right.
The way reptiles, snakes especially, are portrayed in movies, just
as evil, vile,
exactly,
and they're not.
And it just makes a lot of people needlessly afraid of snakes, and that leads to a lot of snakes being killed for no real good reason.
Yeah. Now this little guy here, what would he normally eat in a day? Like
So he eats a mix of brown rice, sweet potato, kale, and a little bit of dog food, softened up and mixed in with the rice. That gives him all the nutrients he needs. Favorite part is probably the sweet potato. He always picks those out sometimes.
Potatoes. Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. So, is there anything else, or is there anything else you'd have to mention about this guy? Or?
Well, I'll talk a little bit about his fur here.
Yeah, his fur.
His fur is actually pretty interesting. If you look, this little tuft right here, a little cowlick. So most mammals, their fur will grow from their head down their back. You think of petting a dog or a cat, you want to pet them down with their fur. But his actually comes also up his bum here,
from the back,
up on his sides, all comes to this one point. So what that's for, when he's hanging upside down in the rainforest, all the rain is going to drip down his fur to this one point and drip right off onto the ground.
So he has a roof.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps him nice and dry out in the trees.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's sort of like a nature's way of helping them out.
Exactly. All sorts of things sloths do completely differently from any other mammal. They are actually, people seem to think they're related to monkeys or other primates. They hear all sorts of things like that. Their closest living relative is the anteater.
Oh, really?
But there's nothing else in the exact same family as sloth. Just the two-toads and the three-toads.
Right. Now his vision, is it at this time, is it poor? Is it always, or will it always be poor vision for these guys?
His vision is pretty poor, and it won't get a whole lot better. He mainly relies on his big nose to find his food and to get an idea of his environment.
And these guys mostly would live in trees, or are they ground dwellers and tree dwellers, or mostly tree dwellers?
They're pretty clumsy on the ground. Their bodies aren't really made for crawling. The only time they would come down from the trees is to go to the bathroom, to switch to another tree. Or if the rainforest is flooded, they're excellent swimmers.
Yeah.
So, but on the ground, they try to avoid as much as possible.
Right. Now, this guy here, is this the only sloth you guys have ever had? Have you had sloths before, or is this the first one?
This is the first one. So this guy lives at our Ottawa Zoo, and we have another one at the Hamilton Zoo. In the Hamilton Zoo.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fantastic. So anyway, we're here. They're almost done for today, but we're so happy to meet you. You guys do a fabulous job. We love what you guys are doing. And, you know, you can go online, check out Little Ray's Reptile Zoo, and it'll probably be changing the name at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the process is going to look like.
But you could go online, Facebook, just Google them. They have shows coming up all over Ontario. I think you do stuff in the U.S. too.
Yeah, occasionally the U.S., all across Canada. We're in Charlottetown next week and all around the East Coast.
Yeah, excellent. Come check him out. And yeah, this guy, obviously the star. The lineup we saw today for him was crazy. And this guy did a fabulous job. And here he is. And what's his name, by the way?
His name's Arthur.
Arthur. There we go, Arthur. Thank you very much. Stick to the story here, and we'll see you at our next event.